The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Hey everyone, thanks for waking up with us here at 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
And we begin this morning with your crime watch. And a Bakersfield man was killed for being gay. That is what detectives are saying after investigating a shooting at Yokit's Park. It all happened last month during the victim's birthday. He is identified as Daniel Lenderos. Friends describe him as a fierce advocate for the LGBTQ community. Earlier this month, Freddie Rivera of Delano was arrested for this shooting. A friend of Lenderos told detectives they were walking through the park at night when they were confronted with a gay slur from Rivera, who was sitting in his SUV at the park. Lenderos responded to the slur with another insult, and prosecutors say that's what led to the gunfire. Lenderos was hit in the chest and died. Rivera is now being held on a $1 million bond.
U.S. Marshals have confirmed to 17 News the accused leader of a group that tried to assassinate one of Mexico's best-known journalists, Ciro Gomez Leiva, has been arrested in Delano. U.S. Marshals say they arrested Armando Escarchega on Monday. The Marshal's office says Escarchega has family in Delano, and he has been held at a McFarland private prison. He's currently down south waiting to be transported to Mexico.
The coroner identified a woman who was struck and killed last month while riding her bike in South Bakersfield. It happened September 19th on South Union Avenue near Garden Drive. Officials say 39-year-old Melissa Hardiman was riding her bike across the northbound lanes of South Union when she was hit. She died at the scene. The Highway Patrol says alcohol and drugs are not factors in this crash, and the driver is cooperating in the investigation.
17 Court Watch this morning. He's getting closer, but the attorney representing notorious Kern County murderer Jamie Osuna in a prison slaying says his client is not ready for a preliminary hearing yet. The attorney told a Kings County judge he has a couple potential candidates to serve as co-counsel on the case, which carries the possibility of a death sentence. The attorney has assigned an investigator with corrections experience to interview Osuna soon. He was granted a pretrial conference in December. Osuna is accused of killing his cellmate back in 2019 at Corcoran State Prison. His cellmate was found decapitated with other body parts removed. At the time of the death, Osuna was serving a sentence of life without parole for the torture slaying of a woman in Bakersfield.
A man who pleaded no contest to approaching a teen girl from behind and groping her was sentenced to 2 years in prison yesterday. Prosecutors have said Timothy Kinsaveth must register as a sex offender for life under the terms of a plea agreement reached back in August. 23-year-old Kinsaveth was arrested after two girls, both 14, reported they were walking home from Freedom Middle School back in April, and a man approached and groped one of them.
Making news around the state, a bill to reduce the number of catastrophic wildfires in California has been signed into law. Bakersfield Assemblyman Vince Fong authored Assembly Bill 297. It allows CAL FIRE access to funds needed for the removal of flammable brush around the state. Nonprofits and other agencies can make requests starting January 1st.
Well, this morning, millions of Californians got an early morning wake-up call on accident. A test of the MyShake app went out 7 hours early. The alert went out with a man's voice saying, "This is a test," followed by an emergency tone. The test was supposed to happen later this morning at 10:19, but the time zone was set to Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, which made the alert go out 7 hours early. Protesters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza filled the rotunda in a congressional office building yesterday. The protesters were part of a march made up of hundreds of Jewish Americans and allies. Somehow protesters were able to get into the building, carrying flags and banners and shouting chants like, "Let Gaza live." Some of the protesters were detained by Capitol Police. It is not clear what charges they could face, if any.
Taking you out live to Washington this morning, it's another day without an elected House Speaker on Capitol Hill. Republicans will again try to elect Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan as Speaker of the House after Jordan fell short yet again yesterday, losing 22 Republican votes. His lack of support has some House members considering other options. NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest from Capitol Hill.
No person having
a sense of deja vu on Capitol Hill.
A speaker has not been elected.
Republican Jim Jordan once again failing to secure enough votes to become House Speaker, faring worse Wednesday than in the first round of full House votes. Still, the Ohio congressman shows no sign of conceding.
How many rounds are you going to do this?
You got to get a speaker.
Jordan's path to getting the 217 votes needed remains unclear. Most Republicans support him.
I expect Jim Jordan to stay in there, and we'll keep voting for him as long as it takes.
But some GOP holdouts won't budge, leaving members of the party frustrated.
This right now is an embarrassment, and this is not what we should be dealing with.
Democrats remain united. They're voting for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries instead.
Stop Jim Jordan, who is a clear and present danger to our democracy and the poster child for Republican extremism.
With the House at an impasse, there are growing talks of other options, including empowering the acting Speaker, Congressman Patrick McHenry, to temporarily conduct business.
Democrats are committed to trying to get the House open.
The House must act fast to get a Speaker in place so Congress can move forward with efforts to provide more aid to Israel and Ukraine and avoid a potential government shutdown next month. And the next vote for House Speaker is expected to take place at noon Eastern Time today. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Meantime, Hanford Representative David Valadao tells 17 News that Jim Jordan's run for speakership is probably coming to an end. He is now supporting the push to make acting Speaker Patrick McHenry Speaker of the House until January, giving him authority to help pass key legislation.
22 that voted against Jordan today, I might be one of those tomorrow, for all I know, or tonight. The reality is Jordan doesn't have the votes now, and it's only going to get worse for him.
Valadao also says he believes the House should go back to having Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, adding he's been frustrated with both Democrats and Republicans since the motion to vacate McCarthy was filed.
All right, well, the Great Shakeout is a global earthquake preparedness drill, and it happens today at 10:19 a.m.
Yeah, 17's Aaliyah Fitzgerald has more on what you can do for personal preparedness. Aaliyah, good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Though the emergency test alert was activated this morning on the My Shake app, this is still something that's really important to download. This is the app that's curated for California and is available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. For today, it's important to warn your children that this is only a drill and to pay attention to what their instructors are teaching them during it. Stop, drop, and cover is now what experts are saying to do in the event of an earthquake.
Yes, so there's been so much debate over the years of what do you do? Do you run over here? Do you do this? Do you do that? And what they have found over decades of studying the injuries from earthquakes is oftentimes it's from individuals that are having something that falls and strikes them, or individuals that are trying to run or trying to move while things are shaking and they fall and they injure themselves. Okay. So the best thing that an individual can do if they have the My Shake app and it alerts them an earthquake is about to occur or they start to feel things shake, the best thing an individual can do is just drop, cover, and hold on. And that is get as low as you can, as quickly as you can safely. Get underneath something that's going to be maybe a sturdy surface that will keep other things from falling on you. Cover your head, cover your neck, and then hold on and wait till everything stops shaking.
Now, if you have emergency bags, the Great Shakeout is a great day to check on the supplies within those kits, for some items might have expiration dates that are in need of being replaced. So again, take this time to pause, take out your phone, download the My Shake app so that you have it in times of emergency. Maddie and Alex, back to you.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.